It's moving day. You're hauling boxes into your new home, excited for a fresh start. Your wife is carrying a stack of cardboard boxes, and suddenly, a woman in a red dress storms out, screaming about rules you've never heard of. Before you know it, sirens are blaring, and cops are at your door. But when one of them whispers something chilling under his breath, you realize this isn't just about an HOA violation. This is a story that'll make your jaw drop. Stick around, because you won't believe what happens next. Welcome back to my channel with another jaw-dropping HOA story. If you love tales of neighborhood drama, overzealous Karens, and twists that'll leave you speechless, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single wild moment. Today, we're diving into a story that's equal parts infuriating and unbelievable. Featuring a Karen in a red dress, a bizarre HOA rule, and a cop who uncovers something no one saw coming. Let's get into it. It's a sunny Saturday morning in a quiet suburban neighborhood called Willow Creek Estates. My buddy, Jake, and his wife, Sarah, had just closed on their dream home, a cozy two-story with a big backyard, perfect for their 2 kids and their golden retriever, Max. They're thrilled, right? New chapter, new vibes. The moving truck is parked out front, and Jake and Sarah are unloading boxes, laughing, maybe even blasting some music to keep the energy up. The neighbors seem friendly enough, waving as they pass by, except for one woman who's been eyeing them from her porch across the street. She's wearing this bright red dress, her arms crossed, and her face is screaming, "I'm about to make your day miserable." This, my friends, is Karen, the HOA's unofficial enforcer. And trust me, she's about to take the story to a whole new level. Jake and Sarah are in the zone, carrying boxes labeled kitchen and bedroom into the house. Sarah's balancing a stack of boxes, her hair tied back, totally focused. Out of nowhere, Karen in the red dress marches across the street, her heels clicking like a ticking time bomb. She stops right in front of Sarah and says, "Excuse me, you can't do that." Sarah, confused, sets the boxes down and asks, "Do what?" "We're just moving in." Karen's face twists into this smug grin as she points to the boxes. Per HOA Regulation 17B, all moving activities must be pre-approved by the board, and visible cardboard is prohibited on the premises. It's unsightly. Jake overhears this and walks over, trying to stay calm. He's like, "Ma'am, we just got here. We didn't get any HOA handbook." Karen scoffs, pulls out her phone, and says, "Well, ignorance is no excuse. I'm calling the authorities." Yes, you heard that right. She's calling the cops over cardboard boxes. At this point, Jake and Sarah are dumbfounded, but they figure she's bluffing. Spoiler alert, she's not. About 15 minutes later, a police cruiser rolls up, lights flashing, which is honestly overkill for a moving day dispute. 2 officers step out. Officer Daniels, a no-nonsense guy with a clipboard, and Officer Ruiz, who seems younger and a bit more curious. Karen's standing there in her red dress, hands on her hips, looking like she just won the HOA World Cup. She launches into a rant about how Jake and Sarah are disrupting the aesthetic integrity of Willow Creek and how their boxes are a blight on the community. Officer Daniels is clearly unimpressed, but he's got to follow protocol. He asks Jake for their side of the story, and Jake explains, "We're literally just moving in. We didn't know about any rule, and we're not causing trouble." Sarah, still holding a box, chimes in, "This is ridiculous. It's just cardboard." Officer Ruiz, who's been quiet, suddenly squints at Sarah, like he's trying to place her face. He leans over to Daniels and whispers something, but Jake catches 2 words. "Ghost Viper." The mood shifts. What the heck is Ghost Viper? Let's pause here, hit that like button if you're as confused as Jake and Sarah were. Now, Jake's no stranger to weird HOA drama. He's watched my channel. After all, this ghost viper thing throws him for a loop. He notices Officer Ruiz staring at Sarah like she's a celebrity, or worse, a wanted fugitive. Daniels, trying to keep things professional, asks Karen to show him the HOA rule she's talking about. Karen flips through a binder she's conveniently carrying and points to a vaguely worded clause about maintaining community standards. It's flimsy, and Daniels knows it. He tells Karen, "Ma'am, this isn't really a police matter. You need to take it up with your HOA board." Karen's red dress practically vibrates with rage as she insists they enforce the rule now. Meanwhile, Ruiz is still fixated on Sarah, and Jake's starting to get protective. He steps between them and says, "Officer, is there a problem?" Ruiz shakes his head, almost embarrassed, and mutters, "No, it's just." She looks like someone I've heard about. The plot thickens and Jake's mind is racing. Is Sarah secretly a superhero? A criminal mastermind? Or is this cop just bad at recognizing faces? Karen, sensing she's losing control, decides to double down. She starts yelling about how Jake and Sarah are troublemakers who'll ruin the neighborhood. She's pointing at the moving truck, the boxes, even Max the dog, who's just chilling on the lawn. The neighbors are now peeking out their windows, and a small crowd is forming. Jake tries to de-escalate, saying, "Look, we'll move the boxes inside faster, okay? Let's just calm down." But Karen's not having it. She pulls out her phone again, this time calling the HOA president, a guy named Greg who apparently lives for this kind of drama. Greg shows up in minutes, wearing a polo shirt with the HOA logo embroidered on it, and he backs Karen up, saying, "We have strict standards here, and you're in violation." Officer Daniel sighs, clearly regretting his career choices, while Ruiz is still stealing glances at Sarah. At this point, Jake's ready to lose it, but Sarah stays cool, stacking boxes like a pro and ignoring the chaos. That's when Ruiz finally speaks up, and what he says flips the script entirely. Ruiz pulls Jake aside and says, "Man, I don't mean to freak you out, but is your wife Ghost Viper?" Jake's like, "Ghost what?" Ruiz explains that Ghost Viper is the online alias of a legendary urban explorer who's been sneaking into abandoned buildings and posting viral videos on YouTube for years. Her face is always masked, but her build, her voice, and the way she moves match Sarah perfectly. Jake laughs it off, thinking it's absurd Sarah's a graphic designer who loves yoga and baking cookies, not some adrenaline junkie explorer. But then Ruiz shows him a clip on his phone, a masked figure scaling an old factory, moving with the same grace Sarah has when she's carrying boxes. Jake's jaw drops. He looks at Sarah, who's now chatting calmly with Daniels, and wonders if his wife has a secret double life. Meanwhile, Karen's still ranting to Greg about fines and lawsuits, oblivious to the bombshell that's just dropped. Guys, if your mind is blown right now, drop a comment with Ghost Viper, and let's see how many of you are freaking out with me. Jake decides to confront Sarah later, not wanting to fuel Karen's drama. Daniels finally shuts things down, telling Karen and Greg that the police have better things to do than mediate cardboard disputes. He advises Jake and Sarah to contact the HOA board formally and warns Karen about wasting police resources. Karen storms off in her red dress, muttering about standards, while Greg slinks away, embarrassed. As the cops leave, Ruiz gives Sarah a knowing nod, like he's in on her secret. That night, Jake asks Sarah point blank, "Are you Ghost Viper?" Sarah laughs, but there's a flicker in her eyes. She says, "Babe, do I look like I'm sneaking into abandoned buildings?" But then she winks and adds, "Maybe I've got a few secrets you don't know about." Jake's left wondering, and so are we. Is Sarah really Ghost Viper, or is this just a wild coincidence? Either way, Karen's reign of terror was no match for Sarah's cool-headedness or her possible secret identity. And there you have it, folks, the wildest HOA story yet, complete with a Karen in a red dress, a bizarre rule, and a cop who might have just unmasked a legend. What do you think? Is Sarah secretly Ghost Viper, or was Ruiz just seeing things? Drop your theories in the comments below, and if you love this story, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for more insane HOA Tales every week. Until next time, keep stacking those boxes and dodging those cards. See you in the next one.